Okay, this is the third in a series of 5, alright? I've just decided that I'm going to make 5 of these videos because each one has made it past the 20-minute mark. Honor is a very important thing in martial arts, alright? Honor and respect. Those are probably the two top things in martial arts, alright? So, first, I don't go around disrespecting any martial artist, even the ones that insult and disrespect me. Alright? Because that just means they're not true martial artists. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to their skill level and the proof of their skill set. Alright? So if you don't have a good skill level, or if you're not a great martial artist, the first thing you should do is listen, learn, and have respect. And if you can't do any of that, then you should not be calling yourself a martial artist at all. I'm more of a renegade. I do listen, I do learn, I do respect, but I also don't take a lot of shit. I'll take as much as I can take, but I'm also not an internet troll. I'm not going to come back and out you and start doing all this crap, and I'm not going to Kimbo slice you and come to your house and threaten to beat your ass and none of that, because that's got nothing to do with martial arts. That's got something to do with fucking male pride and a macho complex that every male suffers from, because every male wants to be invincible. Well, here's the truth on that. No one is invincible. You can be invulnerable to a certain degree. You can have a certain pain tolerance. But your respect and your honor should never be displaced. If you're going to be honorable or dishonorable, then you need to be prepared for the consequences of someone who has a macho complex. You know, if I got online and said all martial artists famous and not famous suck, and we can all go settle this shit at the Monticello Trail in the open field, one-on-one or all at once to establish dominance, 95,000 people who think they're martial artists will travel all the way to Charlottesville to fight me. Out of that 95,000 people, 90 of them will probably go back home after realizing that they fucked up. Okay? When their honor is intact and they realize that, this isn't how martial arts is supposed to be, they'll all jump back on their planes and their cars and they'll go back home. But then you'll have those guys with that macho complex who run a dojo or run a gym and be like, no, I got to beat this little motherfucker. I got to shut his mouth up. And even if they beat me, they can't permanently shut my mouth up. That might be wired shut for a little bit, but as soon as I'm healed up, I'll be right back at it. But in my defense, they don't know how good I am, which is how they got into that mess. They don't want to know how bad of a whipping that I'm willing to give them. I, on the other hand, know how good I am. I don't know how good they are. I'm not willing to take an ass whipping, but if push comes to shove and I'm stuck in a situation that I got myself in by running my mouth, I gotta go with what I know. And what I know is really simple. I'm either going to hurt you or I'm going to kill you to keep you from doing that shit to me. Because I was in the army, and they only taught me I have one mission. I was infantry. The only thing they ever told me was, kill or be killed. That's it. No knife fighting like you see in the movies. We all did hand-to-hand shit. That was it. I didn't go to Ranger school. I didn't go to SF school. And I damn sure didn't want to because I was 37 when I went in. And that's a lot of work. In SF school and Ranger school, that's for young men. It's really, really for young men. It is not for a guy who's 37 years old who's probably never seen his prime after 15, I was really fast and dangerous at 15. As I've gotten older, I've gotten a lot slower. Or at least in my opinion, I've gotten a lot slower. And, I would not like to have to deal with idiots that would travel all the way to another town just to prove that they're the best. Sadly, we have a lot of martial artists who do shit like that. I'm going to go to this town, I'm going to challenge this guy, and I'm going to whoop his ass. And what they don't understand is that, okay, you did two things wrong right there. First, you went to that town where this guy lives and challenged him to a fight. Probably wasn't thinking that shit all the way through, because even if you have a black belt, that does not mean you're Bruce Lee. It just means you have a black belt. Oh, you can break a board. Oh, you can break a brick. James has never done that. James didn't take martial arts to earn a belt. James didn't take martial arts to break a board or to break a brick. which literally has nothing to do with martial arts at all. Every dojo has a policy, and every little bit of red tape has something to keep people from achieving their goals and their dreams. Okay? Let's put that out there. Let's keep that shit real. When you watch all these kung fu movies and these karate movies, with the exception of Bloodsport and the dim mak and bashing the shit at the bottom, what does it accomplish when you break a brick? Oh, it accomplishes, it shows you that you have a lot of might. When you break a board, it accomplishes the fact that you can break a wooden stick that's been made out flat. But here's the thing. Bricks and sticks don't hit back. You're not going to do that to a human being that can put up a fight. You're not. And if I ever get my own school, that shit's out. Brick breaking and board breaking, all that shit's out. You're going to learn how to fight. That's it. You're going to learn how to keep yourself from being hurt in a fight. Because that's what you came to me for. You didn't come to me to get splinters in your knuckles. You didn't come to me to break your fist on a fucking cement brick. Because it only proves that you're strong. But strong doesn't always win fights. It doesn't. And people are under the misconception that if I'm super strong and I can break a cement brick, or I can break a siding brick, or I can break a block of wood with my fist or my foot, I'm a great martial artist. You can do that. And then you can get into a fight in the streets and wind up getting your ass jacked because you thought that I'm super strong. I can break a brick. That's a good party trick. It will impress the shit out of girls. It really will. It might impress a few guys. You know. But when you get into a real fight, the only time that breaking a brick is going to come in handy is if your opponent is standing behind a brick wall and you throw a punch and they go and you break that brick behind them. You might freak them out there. Or you might engage in the fact that now you've scared them so badly that they know they have to kill you to win. Which means they're going to not stop because they're running on fear. And now I'm going to explain how fear works for those who don't understand. I will be the first to tell you in every fight I've ever been in, I've won because I was afraid. I wasn't afraid of my opponent. I was afraid of two things. I was afraid of losing, and I was afraid of my uncles who always told me that if I lose, they would beat my ass, and I'd have to go back and fight the guy again, which is why I never lost. But the third thing that's most important, I was afraid that I would probably kill a person with the shit that I know. Alright? So those are three fears that will change your perspective in fighting. The first fear of being afraid of losing because you know everybody's going to say something. Oh, James missed the class, Karate Kid, blah, 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 Daniel San, Last Dragon. All those anti-80 movies that will be thrown at me, you know, because once was thrown at me when I was handcuffed into a car for driving that I did not steal. But the guy, he tagged me. I was trapped in a seatbelt. He tagged me. He cut my eye. And everybody in my family and everybody who didn't know wouldn't stop picking on me. Hey, Bruce, you missed the class, huh? Whoa! You know, especially one of my uncles. Whoa! And, you know, it's funny how people from the outside that don't know the situation will laugh at you in that situation, but yet they don't have the balls to come and fight you themselves. Keep that in mind. I lost a sparring match in my front yard with a dude from New York who talked mad shit after my cousin died, but he wouldn't show up to fight me for real because he woke a sleeping dragon and he knows it. There are a lot of things and factors in fights that you have to take into consideration. Situation 1 and situation 2 is how you deal with the beginning and the end. When I lost the sparring match, I wanted a rematch. The guy would never give it to me. We had a 3-round match. I took him down twice. He took me down 3 times. I could go another round, but because he was a cigarette smoker, he could not. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't put harmful chemicals into my body, except for sodas at that time, which is what led me to freaking kidney stones. So yeah. Now, I don't drink anything but tea if I can help it. Maybe ginger ale for my stomach, but that's like the only soda I will actually drink. It has properties to help you heal or whatever. Now, being that when I lost that sparring match, because I lost that sparring match before I got trapped in a car and got my eye checked twice, but the guy that would not spar with me, hey fucker, I know you're probably watching. Anyway, I'm under the impression if you could beat me once, two things. You should not have a problem beating me again. And two, thank you for letting me know that I know where I need to improve my shit at. No. Even though it was a sparring match, it wasn't a real fight, I know where I need to improve my shit at. No. And sometimes I wouldn't call a loss a bad thing. I would call it a learning lesson. Okay? Because you're going to lose at least once anyway. So you might as well learn from that lesson and not make the same mistakes. Now, that guy that beat you, you can't let the fear of him beating your ass again dominate your life. So, the next day when I lost that sparring match, I came right back. I went to work. I went to wherever else I had to go. I was right at the door again. Alright, let's go. It's like, nah, man, nah. Like, come on, man, you beat me once already. I'm not fighting you to even the score. I'm fighting you because I need to know if it was real or if it was a fluke. Nah, you lost. You lost. Go away. You lost. Anybody who doesn't want a return match pretty much can say it was a fluke. Yeah. Because if I'm after you every day for 7 days until you go back up to New York, and you refuse each time because you don't have an audience. See, when he had an audience, it gave him false courage, and he won. But then, when he didn't have an audience, so no one would know if he lost because I wasn't going to tell anybody, what keeps in the dark will come into the light. I wasn't going to tell anybody. Had we had another sparring match and he lost, nobody would have ever known because we didn't have cell phones. Well, I didn't have a cell phone, but nobody would have ever known. We'd have went right on out there in the back, had at it, same rules, 3 takedowns. Then we'll see what would ever became of that. But for like 5 days, and then 2 more, and he just all out refused, and I mean literally, he all out refused to spar with me. He would not spar with me. I couldn't pay him to spar with me. That's how bad it was. That's how bad I wanted to get my ass kicked again. Just to see if it was me or if he had goddamn lucky. And then I bump into a lot of people who always say it's better to be lucky than skillful. And I disagree with that to the 1000%. And I guess I'm more skillful than lucky because I've never really lost a real fight ever. I've been beaten by my big sister a lot, so I know I'm tough as nails. I've been dragged down the steps quite a few times. But, we were kids. And all the kung fu in the world has nothing on the windmill. I can't even do the windmill. Some people just got that bionic windmill where they can just do that. And my sister had that shit. And her hands were like a transformer. They'd go from a smack to a clenched fist. Like, boom! And bam, bam, bam. And she would really give it to me, So, I mean, we fought like grown people. But we didn't fight like professionals. We fought like grown people. But I will tell you, I learned how tough I was. So when I had that sparring match, and we were hitting, we weren't like not pulling punches, but we were pulling punches. And we weren't pulling kicks like talking about it. But the first 2 takedowns, he got me with the same move like twice. And my dumb ass didn't catch on until the second time I hit the ground. I was like, oh, hold on, this motherfucker just did that shit. And then I evened the score, with some shit that he didn't see the second time. And the first time it was a different move. And the second time I got him with something totally different. So I was like, okay, we got one more. And I will admit I was a bit distracted. My mom and everybody who hated my guts was out there. So he got me down. So I kicked back up and I said, all right, let's go again. New round. He's like, nah, man, I'm done. I was like, nah, you wanted this, let's go. He's like, nah. I was like, look, I live for this shit. Losing ain't nothing. Let's go. From that day, next day, the 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 next day, until this motherfucker went back up to New York, he would not fight me. And I even pointed out, I said, if you beat me before, you should not have a problem beating me again. I said, you shouldn't have a problem. In fact, it should be easier for you to beat me again. But this fucker refused to fight me. He just straight up refused. Now, he ain't had nothing to prove. No. I'm the only one that had something to prove. I needed to prove to myself that I didn't suck. You know, he, on the other hand, he knew he beat me. He knew it. But he was a coward and would not fight me again for like 7 goddamn days. I mean, I hounded this dude. I go to work. Only thing I thought about was going back over to my house to spar with this motherfucker. I go to wherever the hell I went after work, which was probably to another job. I come back. Hey, dude, I done worked 2 jobs. I'm ready to go. Like, you ain't tired? I said, hey, man, fighting is what I do. It's all I know. I've never lost a sparring match until this guy. So I need to know if it's me. Or either you're really good or you're really lucky. And he never would fight me again. Then when my cousin died, we had a big-ass argument at church. And I mean, he talked mad shit to me at church. Because my cousin died, and it wasn't on my watch, because I was at work doing what positive black people do. And this guy chunked me and chunked me and chunked me, and I said, you know what? This is what's going to happen. This time, we're going to fucking fight for real. And I'm saying this shit in church. I'm cussing. He's eating the fried chicken. I got my fried chicken. I got it on a plate. I said, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to go wrap up this fucking chicken. I'm going to go home. I'm going to change into my gear. Which means I'm basically going to put on some air parachute pants, nylons, and some shoes. Some tennis shoes. I'm going to get out of this little fucking suit that I'm wearing. I'm going to go home. When you done eating my family's chicken at our funeral, who your best friend's supposed to be, like you desecrating me when you should be desecrating the people that were there when he got shot, you know, you bring your ass on over to 512 Rougemont. I'll be waiting outside, ready to go. So you go change out of your fancy, pretty Armani-looking suit that you're wearing. Get off your little ass and bring your ass on over to Rougemont. And we're going to solve this problem. And bring all your friends. Because I'm going to show them the difference between losing a sparring match and getting your ass beat. I came home, got my chicken, put it in my bedroom. It's all wrapped up. I'm ready to go. Changed my clothes. Basically ripped right out of the suit that I was in. Ripped that shit off. Put on my tennis shoes. Put on the nylon pants that my late cousin gave me, which I still have somewhere. And I got an iron chair. Put it in the middle of my yard. And I waited. And I waited. And I waited. And I waited some more. So the time that I got home was 5 o'clock. I stayed outside to 11 o'clock at night, waiting for this fucker to come beat my ass. Because he told me he was going to come beat my ass. And I was ready for it. I was chopping at the bit. I was drooling. I was so fucking ready to fight. Whew. I was so ready to fight. You could see the saliva coming. Other body parts was twitching. Smoke was coming out of my ears. I was ready to go. I was ready to show this fucker, yo, you talk a good game. You wouldn't fight me for 7 days when you won that sparring match. Let's do it for real now. Let's stop playing. You want to fight a fucking dragon? Let's do it. There's only 2 things going to happen. Either I'm going to win or I'm going to lose. You can either go back to New York in victory or you can go back to New York bruised the fuck up. Didn't make shit to me. I just knew when he got there, I was going to fucking hurt him. I was going to hurt him real bad. I was going to show him that, you know, when you wake a sleeping dragon, you can't put the fire out. Because I'm a special dragon. I'm not a red dragon. I'm not a black dragon, because those were like 2 of the most powerful. I'm not a green dragon. I'm not a blue dragon. I'm not a white dragon. I'm a yellow dragon. Those are dragons of pure anger if I'm doing the color scale right. My Chinese legends aren't always accurately depicted. I know that there's at least 5 to 7 different colors of dragons. Not to count the genders, but I think the yellow dragon was the one that was most ostracized because of its anger issues. The white dragon was the most pure dragon. The red dragon was the hero. The other dragons, I guess they kind of tagged along. I don't really know all the legends of what dragon and what color goes with what dragon, but I know I was a yellow dragon, and he woke me up. And the fire in my eyes was ready to go. And he never showed up. What happened after I went home and changed clothes was what I was told by everybody who was there, that he called me all kinds of punk bitches, jumped in the car and rode back up to New York. That I wasn't worth his time. But I was worth all that shit that he said to me while we were in the church, where he was cussing my ass out. But the people who were there when my cousin was shot, who generally was brandishing guns on me, didn't have their guns that night. And Kung Fu Joe didn't want to go anywhere but back up to New York. I ain't seen the boy since that shit. Don't give a fuck. Hope he's living well. But the point of the matter that I was making is that, that was a macho complex that kicked in on me. And I know that I have a macho complex, but at the time, if you were in my shoes, you would understand that it was for the right reasons. It wasn't because I was just trying to be a badass. It was just the simple fact that this dude was threatening me and trying to beat my ass at the church. And I told him, I'm not going to fight you on holy ground. But I live at 512 Rougemont. I'm going to go home and change my clothes. You bring your ass on over there, and we'll solve this problem once and for all. And he chickened out and went the fuck on back up to New York. So that's when I started telling people, it ain't where you from, it's what you can do. And you can be from the baddest place in the world, but if you can't fight, you just can't fight. Own it. You beat me before, you should have had no problem beating me again in a sparring match or in a real fight. Clearly he knew better, and clearly he went about his own way. So wherever he is, I hope he's having a great life. I have no qualm with him. I don't care if I ever see the motherfucker again. But I knew back then, in my 20s, he would have never done anything to me like that sparring match ever again, because he would not fight me again. I will go to the next video now. Thank you guys.